In this video, we're going to be designing a simple sci-fi gun. I'm going to be using some add-ons like hard ops, box cutter, machine tools, mesh machine, but I'm going to be explaining what I'm doing, so don't panic. And all the links to add-ons are in the video description. So first of all, what we need to do is enable box cutter and go to end gun, set it to face. And we're going to cut this mesh like this, right? Maybe a bit more shallower here. Run it through and then mirror this and apply the mirror, right? Whoops. Let me just recover this cutter. I want to mirror the cutter. There we go. Not this shape here. There. And we're going to actually scale it up. So let's just recover this. Go to edit view and let's apply the mirror. And grab these two faces. So this one and this one, right? And we're gonna move it up, so GZ, right, to make it taller a bit, and then just move it somewhere here. Okay, now I also want to cut out a shape out of this. It's gonna be going maybe lower, maybe somewhere here, going up this way, following this angle here and out. So X and slice it. And then we're going to run another one going down. So let's apply this. Then let's run a knife here going down with A. Press C to cut through, right? And we're going to grab this this bit here, but hang on, I'm going to run a knife here as well. So I'm going to run a knife from here along this edge here and maybe here, so C and cut through. That didn't work. One more time. Okay, A, C, and boom. Motherfucker. All right, we're gonna mirror it later with with mesh machine. It's fine. So we have this, and I wouldn't actually mind slicing it as well here with an end gun like this, you know what I mean? So just cut it here and let's recover this and drop it down a bit here, right? Now I also want to cut this in here like this. There we go. Now the top should be a little bit more rounded for sure. Let's go with 7 segments. There we go. It probably should be a little bit wider too, so select everything SX. There we go, and then, bevel this a little bit. On the top, I would also want some cut in here like this. So select them both with Shift, and let's just cut something like this in here. This one is fine. This could be beveled here in the front, but we can do it later. The back here could be beveled as well. So let's apply the cutters. So, let's go with multiply. And let's just run the bevel here. Oh, this will not work. Let's clean it with machine tools. Nothing to clean, really. There we go. Okay, so let's just bevel this. Okay. And bevel this one. Perfect. And we're gonna do the same thing here, so let's just bevel these two. It's the same angle. And then we're gonna bevel these, right? Now don't worry about this connection here, we're gonna clean it later. In fact, we can do it now. So we can grab this piece and we can slice it like this with K, knife. And then we can just, delete this, right? We don't need this. And then dissolve this one and mirror to the other side. Now we also need a bevel here and here, obviously. And we don't need this. In fact, before we bevel this, let's just nuke this. So Control X and just, bevel this one here. Maybe a little bit deeper. something like that. That looks good to me. I think I might actually move this a bit deeper here. So let's select this all the way down here, and then select this one all the way here, and then GY and literally move it in here this way. So it's a bit deeper here. Something like this. This could be a little bit extruded here, so a little bit longer. Alright. We could move this edge up, holding control. Could be the same angle as this. So we can just, double check if it's the same angle, right? Shift D. It's almost the same angle, so a little bit lower, right? There we go. That looks alright to me. Now we could have some bevel here as well in the front, so let's nuke this and bevel this. How we looking? Not too shabby. We don't need this nonsense for sure. This is actually important. Hang on. So what we could do before we do anything, let's grab this and in fact I would prefer the bevel edge in here. So I would prefer something like this, following this edge. In fact, you know what we could do? We could grab this entire edge here and Shift D this, then P in selection, then grab this edge and let me just go to local view. In fact, let's extrude it. So E, extrude on Z, let's just align it, combine them with F, select everything, press F, and then E, and extrude it here, right? And we're going to use it as a knife. So let's go back, and then we're going to GG this here. Oh, this will not work. Let's just press I for inset. There we go, right? And Control I and delete everything. So delete that, select the face and extrude it. And then we're gonna use it as a knife. So select both and then booleans and knife, right? So we're gonna get this edge here, which is much better. And we can continue this, to the top, right? So A, then C, and cut through. So then we don't need this edge here, right? We can remove this. And we don't probably need this one as well. Let me just nuke this cutter. There we go. So we can't really use cleanup at the moment. We need to do it manually, because if we use cleanup, we're gonna lose this entire loop here, which I want to keep, right? So let's select this edge here. So alt click with mesh machine and select just loop. There we go. Did it work? It did. Let's run a bevel. That should do. Then let's grab this loop in the middle and then Control plus expand it. This will not work. Let's mirror this to the other side, okay, and then try it again. So Control plus, there we go. And what we're going to do is we're going to run Q and Shift Curve Extract, which is going to create a panel. Okay, like this. Peachy. Let's apply this. So sharpen. We're going to round it up, yeah? So bevel here. In fact, let's select these two, because there's the same angle, right? It's 90 degrees. So Control B these both. Right? And then we're going to bevel these two. And then this one. All right, how are we looking? We're looking pretty good. We're looking pretty good. Now, these two were cut, so probably what we need to do, is gonna be running a separate bevel here, so Alt Z that, and in fact press B and select both of them, so we can bevel both of them at the same time. We can create the same bevel here. Look at this, selected only one. The cheeky fucker. Let's just hide it for a sec. There we go. Oh wait, it selected both of them. What the fuck? Oh, we good. We good. We good. Alt H. Oh, it's a cutter. I was deceived by the cutter. Let's just nuke this shit. We don't need it. This one too, the same thing. Let's go. Let's select both of them and Alt Z, and B. Select both edges. There are two edges in here, right? So select both of them with Shift. Or without Shift. There we go. So both sides needs to be selected. The edges over there, because we have it's mirrored using this one. Yeah, see that? This edge here. We could actually nuke this. So Control X, and it's gonna be fine. So now it should be fine. So let's go back. Alt H. Select these two. Go to local. Alt Z. Then edge mode. Alt Z, there we go. B, select these two, and then we're gonna bevel this, right? So let's go back so we can see this panel. Control B and Bob your uncle, right? So we got these aligned, and there's one more here. Now this one's gonna be a little bit more tricky. Let me see that. Because the panel curves, but you know what we're gonna do? We're going to separate it, I think. So here, what I wouldn't mind doing is actually running a cut. So running a cut like this here, and shift click this, and we're going to align it here like this. So G, Y, hold Control. Let's enable vertex snapping, GY, and snap it here. And we're going to make it wider and switch this to, switch this boolean to exact. And it should work. There we go. Because it's overlapping here on the corner, right? So you need this to be exact, okay? And I think for now this is gonna do. Let me see that. It's fine. We're gonna clean a clean separation here, and then what we could do, we could run some bevels on this. Actually, I think it's gonna be interesting. Let me see that. Yep. This one is actually fine. We could have a bevel here, which is gonna be consistent, and then what we could do is run a bevel here like this. Be much more easy with plasticity, but we're not using plasticity, so you see this will not work. So if we wanted to do this, right, the only way to do that would be to literally separate this. So watch, I'm gonna select this entire piece here and press P and selection, right? I'm gonna go to local and I'm going to face this, right? Then I'm going to run the bevel I want to run here, right? Then I'm going to go back and I'm going to combine them. So I'm going to grab this one. This one needs to be closed as well. F, and let's clean that. So clean mesh. Then we're going to grab both of them, right? And I'm going to grab this one and I'm going to extrude it. So EY. And then I'm going to go back and I'm going to combine them with boolean. So boolean union. And we're gonna go with manifold, right? And then we can hide this, sharpen, and you're gonna get this. You see what I mean? So when you bevel that, you're actually gonna get a bevel on this. Now, I wouldn't recommend beveling this way because, you know, you're gonna get a lot of artifacts. However, what you could do is you could bevel this using bevel shader, right? Because this is gonna create, you know, a lot of problems. So let's just clean that. Let me see this. There's some kind of a nonsense inside. Ah, these faces. That's what's causing. Actually, no, we need these faces. It's fine. So yeah, this bevel is gonna be breaking here a little bit. Is this a I mean, is this actually flipped geometry? No, it's not. Interesting. Oh, there we go. Now it's working. You see, you can't push it too far because you're gonna break here. There's limitation of polygons, right? But what you can do, you can actually apply a bevel later using, using bevel shader, right? So I wouldn't worry about it right now, and we can do it with a shader later on. Interesting. I can't hide cutters. Collection is also not working. Did they fucking change shortcut keys? You must be joking me, right? Hang on, let me just save this. I'm gonna reboot this and see. Yeah, collections keys are not working. Wow. Did they fucking change it to numpad? No. What the fuck did they do? Man, I don't know. They always change shit, you know, and annoys the fucking living shit out of me. Also, we lost the cut. Alright, so now here I would like another cut. So let's go with the N-gon and face. And I wouldn't mind something here. And I could run it like this. So X and cut it. Alright, so we're gonna get this in here. We could run a bit of a bevel here, to be honest, you know. Just like 5 segments, and the same here. So have a scroll, and let's just go to local and, you know, bevel these two, right? A little bit. So they kind of you know, echoed. And this will do, right? I don't know why my collections are not working. Shift 2, Shift 1, 1, 2, 3, they don't work. I don't know if they changed something again in the fucking Blender. Jesus Christ, man. Every fucking time they do some shit that is not important, man. I don't know what's going on in this fucking Amsterdam. Alright, let's run the bevel here too. I think this might be, or maybe a chamfer. Let me see this. I think a chamfer could be interesting here, you know. Run a bevel on this. Slide bevel. This is gonna get messed up, of course, because reasons. I wonder if this is actually not a flip geometry or something. No, what the hell is going on here? I think it's a bevel just overshooting. Let me see this. What the fuck? Ah, it's just too high. GZ, let's drop it down a bit. There we go. This probably should be marked. And then what we need is, we need to fix this here. This issue. Maybe we just need an edge here. There we go. And we should be fine. This one is not actually catching the angle, so we could switch it to weight. There we go. And if we do that, we will need all these being marked. Otherwise it will not work. We don't need these, by the way. So now I can mirror to the other side, and I think we're Gucci, right? There we go. We technically don't need this one. Let me see this. Remove the edge. Ah, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm going to run a cut here like this. Going straight, so see, and run it like this. I'm going to fill this face, and then I'm gonna fill this face. Mirror this and fill this face, and it's gonna be better, right? Yeah, because we don't need actually, you know, we don't need an edge here. What we do need is we need a marked edge here, and we technically don't need this one. There we go. Mirror and peachy, right? And we got this. So let's actually save this now. Power save this. There we go. So that will do. Now here, obviously, we're gonna have some, you know, some bevels again. Let's just nuke this. Oh, we can't nuke this. Let's just actually clean this now, because we don't need this, you know, these panel lines. So we can just go operations, clean mesh, and recalculate sharpen, which is gonna allow us to actually unmark these and bevel them with, I would say 7. How are we looking? It's a little bit too soft. I think I'm just gonna go with 5 and smaller bevel like this, right? That's gonna be a bit better. We could run a chamfer all the way here. So all the way here could have a chamfer, like a small one. You see this? Nah, I think bevel's gonna be better. So yeah, let's run a bevel here too. So let's unmark them and run a bevel. 5 is fine. And the bevel's gonna do the trick, right? So it's okay. Now this one needs to be beveled as well. Let's just sharpen this and then bevel this. You see that? Yeah, it's working, so that's cool. Then we could have some cuts in here, you know, for fun. So maybe something here on the side. Let's just mirror this. Then we're gonna have one in the middle. So let's go with dots here. So we're gonna hold control and run a cut in the middle, right? And let's apply it, and then we're going to, you know, whoops, we're gonna chamfer this. And let's turn off loop slide, so it's gonna fix this issue here, you see that? And I think we could use more definition, I mean more resolution here, hang on. This cutter should be a little bit, you know, a little bit, if you can't cut in orthographic view, by the way, press Shift F and switch view align to ortho, just saying. Let's just run it again, hold Shift, and let's go to here on the top to maybe 50 verts, and then G, Z, or Y, or whatever. Yeah, and just cut it. Should be better. And sharpen, and then click, alt, click, and then, you know, bevel this. I mean, chamfer, sorry. What in the fuck is going on here? Yeah, it's fine. And then bevel this, right? Here too, we could have some, you know, kind of like a separation here on the bottom, maybe. So we could have something like this. Maybe we could have a wedge cut or two. So W and hold control for a perfect wedge cut. And we could repeat it. So F scroll and then array and move it forward, right? And then just hide these cutters. There we go. And this is mirrored, so we're fine. You know, let's recover the cutter here. So F scroll. Oh, we can't. Let's go and Alt H all the cutters, and we're gonna grab this one. And we're gonna go to Q and settings and shift click on shade solid, which is gonna create a solid shape out of this cutter, right? And then E and extrude it, and so we're gonna inset it, right? And extrude it, and let's actually Alt S this, right? And then chamfer this. In fact, this could be a larger chamfer, and this could be smaller chamfer. And bevel, right? Small bevel. Okay, that's good. And let's just run a loop here. Just bevel this and Alt a macro a bit. Cool, cool, cool. This could be a little bit deeper, so it doesn't stick out so much, right? That works. And now here in the front, what I would like is I would like some sort of like a casing for a magazine or some shit. So we could have actually could have cut like this, to be honest, and then cut in the front here. Maybe even all the way. And this could be, yeah, this could be a magazine. So I will scroll and, you know, bevel these. 7 will do. And we're going to, let's just apply this and select this one, and we're gonna Alt S this inside a bit, but we're gonna pull this one down, so GZ, right? Will this work? We could pull it down lower and bevel this. So unmark this, whoops, and bevel this, right? Let me see that. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Now remember, we're just playing with shapes, right? We're literally discovering shapes, so you know, that's what we do here, right? Chamfer this. I think maybe bevel's gonna be better. 5 is enough. It's cool. And we can apply this cutter here, right? So sharpen. We can nuke this cutter, we don't need it. Now, we're probably gonna need some trigger here as well, right? So we could run a cut here, like this. Shift click this, and let's grab this one and extrude it down. We're going to remove this one and grab this one and extrude it this way and nuke this one. And then GZZ, there we go, and do this, and we can actually expand this, right? So here, GYY, and move it down, there we go. Let me see that. Now this face should be probably parallel to the ground, so Alt A with, whoops, it's not gonna work, hang on. Select this edge, this one, and then Alt A, boom. And we're going to move this one here. So this is gonna be, there you go, aligned here and aligned there. So there's a 90 degrees angle here and here between surfaces. And this is gonna be a trigger area, right? So we can actually bevel this here. We can bevel this here. That's gonna work for us, perfect. And obviously we should cut this this element here as well. So you know, select the cutter, shift select this one and difference, right? I'm gonna apply this cut here on this shell, hide it, and then we're gonna work on this cut here. So the inner cut is not applied, right? LZ, and then SS and scale this, and we're gonna do something like this here, custom. So, whoops, G. Let me see that. Alt H. Oh, that's actually not bad. I like that. Let's apply this. There we go. That's actually pretty peachy, not gonna lie. That's pretty peachy. It's kind of massive for a trigger, but you can always, you know, we can always adjust it. But anyway, let's build a trigger, right? So let's just grab a cube, because it's gonna be easy with a cube, I think. Let's scale it. So it fits, right? And this one's gonna be, you know, obviously rotated, but we also need to divide it here. And we're gonna have to create kind of like a, you know, some kind of like a trigger. So something like this, right? And nuke these two, you don't need them. Grab this one, you know, bevel this, bevel this one. Oh, actually, maybe not bevel, maybe we're gonna cut this with an end gun, like this. Right, and, or even higher. Something like that. There we go. I'm gonna move it lower, so it's here, right? And apply this, and then we're gonna have a, you know, bevel here. And we could, you know, bevel these. We could chamfer this one, so bevel this thing. And we could also make it hollow, as in run a cut here like this. I know this looks like shit. Maybe from here. Or maybe we could just cut it like this here. This could be interesting. So run a knife, and then, you know, GX, whoops. Oh yeah, Alt E and macro then. Actually, wait a minute, we can do the punch it. So Alt E and punch it, right? And then punch it in, boom, right? And approve it. And look at this. We got some leftovers, so delete that. Whoops, delete the faces. You can actually delete these using the punch it tool, but I honestly don't remember how the fuck it worked. So I'm just gonna, you know, I'm just gonna do it manually. I guess it didn't work very well. There we go, mirror, boom, right? And then we're going to bevel these. I could actually bevel these as well if I'm going to run. The only problem is that it's gonna fuck up my well, you can try. So let's align it. K, and then C, AC, and, you know, run an edge here. Come on. A. Let's just run it like this. Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay. A. There we go. Mirror. Grab this. Bevel. Let's clean that one more time. Bevel. See, that's gonna be the problem, right? So, you know, you can do that, but it's gonna be a bit problematic. So honestly, maybe a chamfer would do something like this. So grab this one, and Alt A, 3 to clean it, and then remove this edge, right? Because we don't need it. Oh shit, wait a minute. Let's combine these two faces into one. Nope. Let's remove the faces, okay. Let's remove, Jesus. Let's remove this, wait. Let's remove this edge. Let's rebuild that. This is joy of working with fucking polygons, do you know what I mean? F, right, and then mirror, boom, done. Yeah, so you got this, which is interesting. And, you know, this is as far as I can go with freaking booleans, right? I'm not gonna be designing this trigger and adding kind of fancy stuff because, you know, tempo's fugitive. Now here, what I could do is I could actually terminate this in here. So we could go with Y and unfuse, or in fact unbevel with mesh machine, and we could grab this entire piece here and actually bevel this, right, like this. See what I mean? So the only thing I would need to do is again run an edge here going up, so like that, right? And then I select this and I go Control B and, you know, bevel this here like this, right? And all I need to do is, oh, this is gonna get fucked. Well, we could separate it again, so, you know, let's mirror this and we could separate this entire piece here. So let's press J here, J on the bottom, grab it, and then Control plus this, select this entire, you know, entire thing here and here, and yeah, P selection, and we're gonna just literally rip it off, right? So where is it? This piece here, right? Let's close it, and then let's close this one, right? Peachy. So wait, what the fuck is this? L, nuke it. Mirror, there you go. So now we can actually bevel this right the way we want it to. So B and bevel this all the way to this element. You know, that's how you get around the, you know, not needing to run the fucking sub-D, right? Because sub-D is fucking annoying. Now here, what we could do is we could bevel this, and this is going to sharpen this. There we go. And I think we're good to go, right? Yep. Awesome. Cool. Now we could have some kind of additional shenanigans in here. Let's just press X. cutting, and then E, and extrude it, and apply this. There we go. This is gonna look cool in the front. And we could have some sort of maybe cutout for the handle here, so you know, we could actually go from here. And also this one should be beveled. I don't know why, but I skipped it. Let's bevel this like that. There we go. That's better. And then we could run here a little bit larger cut, or just a small one here, which is gonna be much easier on the geo, right? So somewhere here, like this. See that? Perfect. Just don't go into the bevel, because if you do, you're gonna have a, you know, bad day, right? We could sharpen this, and we could grab this entire piece here. And Alt S this a little bit outside, right? Either outside or inside. But if you're gonna go outside, what you're gonna be able to do is you're gonna be able to chamfer this, which is I think gonna be cool. You know what I mean? Something like that. It's gonna get a bit of a highlight there, and it's gonna look cool. We could have some screws here and there. I mean, you know, would look cool. Also something on the top here, like some sort of a, you know, chamber, whatnot, right? Here. So cut this, grab this one, and you know, let's just apply this, and then SS and whoops, Shift S to geometry, and scale this, and scale it on Y like this, right? You could also do this with an inset, so many ways of doing this, right? And then, you know, sharpen this. We could have a chamfer on top of this. It's gonna look interesting. And this one could have some kind of an opening here on the bottom, right? Just turn off this line. Oops. And we could have some array here. Okay, knife, cut it, select them all, and then Alt-M macro, right? And we could go either inside or outside, but I think inside's gonna be interesting. Bevel this, and weight it normals, right? And good to go. Now this one could have some sort of a cut here as well in the middle. But oh, you know what we could do? We could actually add a chamfer here. It's gonna be interesting. Yep. It's gonna add additional separation here, you see that? These separations are really important. There's some kind of a beef here, so let's mirror this. Let's mirror this one. And let's mirror this. What the fuck is going on here? Hang on. Oh, this is cut for the trigger. Wait. Just made the bevel smaller. There you go. Bevel is overshooting. We got some beef here. Oh yeah, these ones, right? These are causing problems. So that's easy to fix. I'll show you, watch. So we're gonna select this entire piece. This is too close to the bevel, so just GX, sorry, and move it in a little bit, and then mirror, you're done, right? And you got this cutout for a trigger here, which is interesting. So that's that. Yep, we could have some screws here and there, so we could have screws here. And we could have another one here. In fact, I'm gonna do it with a cutter, because if I use a cutter I can reuse it, so I can just cut it through, and then you know, I can recover this and then go to edit mode and Shift D Y and move it in here, and I can reuse it, right? So Shift D, and I can, you know, pop it in here. Then I'm gonna have three screws in here, And I also wouldn't mind some on the chassis, so, you know, grab one of them. So Shift D and move it in here. And we're gonna nuke two of them. And then grab this one, GG, and, you know, maybe make it a little bit larger. And not as deep. And then bevel this, right, difference. And then, you know, select that, Shift D, Y. We could move it to the front, but I'm gonna drop it down actually, so GZ. That's good, and I think that's enough. Probably. This magazine here could use some kind of a release on the bottom for sure, so we could have like a button here, right? So let's just go with X and maybe let's actually cut this in. So E, and then what I'm gonna do is shift bold, settings and shift to solid. So I'm gonna have a button here, so I'm going to sharpen this. Oh, this will not work. Let's apply this and then sharpen. Still not gonna work. It's because of the bevel. Let's apply the bevel. Then just bevel this button here, and I'm going to actually cut it, so D, and I'm going to slice it here, and GY, and, you know, cut it here like this, right? And then I'm going to apply this boolean, and I'm going to chamfer this like this, right? And make this bevel smaller, but I'm gonna bevel this, so bevel this one here, and this one, right? It's gonna be a release button here on the side, and we could make it a bit smaller, so hang on. Why is it one? Wait, what am I missing here? I thought there was a cut. Wait, what? Okay. Why does this one bit? Hang on, let me just unparent this. Alt P and clear parent. Why can it select this? Why can it select this? What in the actual? Bro. There we go. What the fuck? I can't select this with the mouse. Is this 5.0 so fucking bugged? I thought they fixed all this shit, but I don't think they did. Jesus Christ. What the fuck are they smoking this Amsterdam, man? Like, for real. I genuinely cannot select it. This piece. That is just bizarre. You seen this? I genuinely cannot select it. Only B selector selects it. So P. So now let's go to edit view. Edit view. This one doesn't have an edit view? What in the fuck is going on? Okay. P by loose parts. And I can't still select it. This is retarded. What the fuck, man? Wow. Absolutely bizarre. Okay, just scale this. Alt H. There we go. And I'm gonna keep it on one side. That's just stupid, man. What the f... Here in the back we could have some kind of like a, you know, some kind of a small cut as well. Maybe something for, you know, for creating, for holding the gun or something. So something simple here. B, right? And sharpen this. And what I'm gonna do here is run this kind of a shape here in the middle. So A, and then bevel this, and we're gonna be good to go, right? So Alt X. Okay, SX then. And boolean together, union, sharpen, nuke this cutter, right? There you go. And then, you know, I'm going to actually connect them a little bit better here. So I'll run double connection here. I'm gonna nuke these two. I'm going to run a bevel here in the middle, which will not fucking work. What's causing the problem? Mirror to the other side. Select just a loop, bevel this, and then bevel this one. Right? I actually chamfer this. There we go. Right? Something like that in the back. And my cuts disappeared because of course it did. What the fuck is going on, man? Okay. So Shift D, Y, GZ, move it here. And, you know, that's it. And then sharpen this. And there we go. And we can mirror this to the other side, right? How are we looking? Yeah, we're looking pretty good. This trigger is a little bit too large. I think it should be smaller. And kind of higher here. So, something like that. There we go. That looks good. Could have some opening here as well. It's going through. It's gonna look pretty cool. It's gonna add some spice there. And we could have some cuts here as well. So just cut it in. And array this down X. There we go. Sharpen. And we're gonna have to, you know, lower this bevel a little bit because it's a bit crazy, right? There we go. And the rest can be done with decals, do you know what I mean? So there we go. Oh yeah, we lost this chamfer here as well. I don't know why, but we did. I think it's gonna look better with a chamfer. So with a chamfer, these are a little bit too close, yeah. So these should be GZ, just move them down. Just remember this one will move as well, right? So select this one, press L and GG and move. Can I do that? Select this one, L, GG, oh no, G, and move it here. That's gonna be better. This one also should be a little bit to the right here. So GY. So it's in that pocket here, right? And we're gonna simply mirror this to the other side. How we looking? We're looking pretty good. This one also could be chamfer. It's gonna be interesting. So just chamfer the front here and then mirror. Let me see that. Yeah, we're gonna get this problem here. The chamfer is too deep, so not as deep, right? Not as deep. And then lower the bevel. What the fuck is this? Boom, right? And then lower the bevel. I'll make it a little bit larger. You see that? Yep, and mirror, and we're done. And what else? I think we're good. This could be here. This could be actually chamfered as well. So make sure the loop slide is off, yeah. Same here, to be honest. You just apply this. Click Alt, click. Actually, fuck it. This could be non-chamfered. This is fine. I'm tempted to chamfer this as well, but you know. And this magazine could have some kind of like a, you know, an interest here and there. Also, there's something with the bevel here. Hang on. I see the problem. Let's recalculate sharpen. There we go. And that's that. this bottom could be, yeah, there could be something here, something more interesting. So let's, whoops, let's cut this here. Okay, with a knife, and grab that, and Alt-M macro, outside, sharpen. Let me see this. Nope, the other way around. So Alt-M macro in. Much better, right? Sharpen this. Yep. That's better. And I'm gonna also hollow this out in here in the middle. So like this, and scroll. Boom. And then apply, whoops, apply this. And I'm gonna chamfer this. So right, and lower this bevel just a little bit. Mirror, and we're good to go. We're looking pretty good. And then we need some screws, and this could be all done with, you know, like decals, and the same with a handle here. This could be all done with decals, right? So, you know. There we go. Sharpen this. Perfect. Just delicate notch there. So I think we're good. Now, if you would like to learn how to use, you know, hard ups and box cutter effectively, and you're interested in learning, you know, a proper workflow that's really, really quick and fast and very efficient in creating these kind of models, then grab our course, The Ultimate Guide to Hard Ups and Box Cutter 2.0, which is going to teach you the whole workflow, all the tools. It's a 22 hours course. It's massive. And you can just break it into parts. You can learn the tools, you can learn the advanced settings, you can learn the modeling part, rendering part. It's all included. But if you're more of a beginner and or intermediate, and you're still kind of struggling with basics of Blender or the, you know, intermediate stuff, then grab our course, the Hard Surface Accelerator, which is a precursor to the Ultimate Guide to Hard Ups and Box Cutter, which is going to help you to build really solid foundations for Blender hard surface, right? And both links are in the video description. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.